Ron Brooks.
Hi, everybody. On Saturday, it was homecoming at Oklahoma State. A crowd of 36,000 on hand at Lewis Field. A gorgeous day. 62 points in just over 3 quarters. Nobody can stop anybody. Suddenly, everybody stops everybody at the end. And that's why they call it football, isn't it? Less than a foot between a victory and a tie.
Well, that's exactly. This was a wildly entertaining ball game. It wasn't for me or I'm sure Jimmy Walden, but if you just could sit back and watch this thing, there was almost 1,000 yards of offense in it. And from our standpoint, defensively, our greatest fears ended up happening. It was that, number one, Todd Doxson, who has been injured at quarterback, would be out there and would be cooking. They lost a tight end early in the ballgame, which put them in kind of their spread formation, did a little bit more of that sort of thing than we had seen before, which got us on our heels defensively. Now, I think offensively is probably as well as we had played. There was a break point almost every possession for both teams, and I think, again, it was a heck of an interesting ball game.
A break point all the way. We're going to see lots of drama, and we'll join you with that when we return. Well, buckle in. There's 61 points ahead in a game that truly was a cliffhanger. And again, it was a beautiful day at Lewis Field, homecoming, and a chance for some fans to get a lot of things to cheer about during the day.
Well, there's a lot of folk that only come back to Stillwater this particular time of the year, and I thought it was a good crowd. I think everybody was into it. You had the alumni groups were around it. We won the toss and elected to defer the decision to the second half. In all honesty, we had discussed we might have taken the ball. If you'd known what was going to happen, sure you would have taken the ball the first possession. But Lawson kicks it down in there. They get a penalty, start back up. Now, this is where I saw from the first play, from the sidelines, the guy that had the quarterback got fooled, and he jumped in there on the fullback, and the guy that's in the alley stood there flat-footed. And again, these sorts of things can happen when you're doing it with a guy who is as nifty as Todd Doxson, number 4, and who can execute this thing well. Now, again, they jump into the spread. I didn't realize, our coaches did, I didn't realize they had lost a tight end here early on. They jump into the spread, which ends up being a wishbone out of a spread formation. And now they do some of this kind of thing here and throw the ball around and kind of dink it around on you, which they're pretty good at and have been over the years, even when they weren't in the option style of attack. He comes back, Link Harden got his hands on that one. But from the moment, the first play of the ball game, we had the impression, hey, this is going to be a tough day, because if they continue to execute things pretty well, see, the guy that had the quarterback right there got hooked. Now, and so every time the ball snapped, this is kind of tough. Now, we miss an adjustment right here. They line up in that wing, and we're supposed to slide over there, miss an adjustment, miss a tackle, touchdown Iowa State.
50-yard touchdown pass to Calvin Branch from Doxson, and it's 7-0 Iowa State.
We come back out here and run the option, make something. I think we set a fairly good little tone, and I think David Thompson did on that first play. He kind of ran over one of their corners, and I think David ran perhaps a little bit tougher than he has and with a little bit more authority and did a good job. Tony on this option, we get a face mask call in here someplace, does a nice job. Here's a sweep, hand sweep. You can see David blasts out there pretty good and is knocking guys around. Came back and run this counter play. I'm really proud of our big right tackle, number 71, Calvin Menifee, who has been thrust into a starting position at tackle when we had the injury to Josh Henson at Nebraska. Big Calvin is a second-year freshman who is a heck of a nice youngster that does well academically and all these sorts of things, and then he's still kind of a young guy that's developing. Here you see a nice counter play here, and Thompson ricochets up here. But Menifee he's a long way from being certainly the finished product about anything, and he's just a second-year freshman. But Big Calvin is playing pretty well and doing some pretty good things. So we take this ball and drive it right back. So we get a holding call right there, which was real crucial because we're countering and we're moving back down. And now they have long yardage and run the option, and he almost comes out of that. Don't make a heck of a lot. Go back in there and run the draw play, and they were sitting on the draw all day long. We could not bust that thing. Now we come back out, run this shuffle pass, miss a block up inside, and one of their linebackers makes a nice read and don't get it. Now here comes Lawson Bowman, comes in and kicks his field goal. So now it's Iowa State 7, Oklahoma State 3.
And that holding call really did look big, didn't it?
Well, it really is.
Yeah. And especially on down the line.
Well, really, when he ends up a 31-31 tie, anything tends to glare. But once this thing got going, and we sensed it over there, and I assure you, the head coach did, is there. If either team flinches a bit, in other words, if we turn that thing over, he almost hit that same uncovered guy again. We did get a guy out there. If anybody makes a mistake, you're probably going to get beat. There was only one turnover in this entire ball game. Right. They fumbled here a little bit, and we take it and capitalized on it. You see, now this is the thing about Doxson. We got the whole play defended, and he just scrambles and makes a first down. We got that. There's the fumble right there. That's only one. We did execute on the perimeter pretty good and gave him a misread. Now we've got the ball around midfield. Andre Richardson comes in. Andre is, I don't know, he's a little bit banged up. I don't know the full extent of it at this point, but hopefully he'll be okay. Tony on the option does a nice job. Okay, Andre now spins out of this doggone thing, and this is the kind of stuff we used to see some of these other fellas around here do fairly repeatedly.
And we get to see it again.
We get knocked back at point of attack. Calvin gets stuffed right in there, and we don't see a cut. But Andre puts his hand down and walks right out of the pile and ends up taking what was going to be a 2-yard loss and makes a 5 or 6 yard gain out of it, which is awfully good for the back. Hopefully he'll be okay here. So we're moving on down now. You see the quarters running out, and we're behind 7-3. Make the first down there. The quarter changes. Going another wind was really not much a factor. It did. Now here's where he got hurt a little bit. Their nose guard kind of split our double team a little bit, and he got the same knee that he had gotten banged a little bit before. Now we run the sweep again, and David almost comes out of this.
David had a nice game.
David had a good ball game again. Really good for David. Good for our football team. For David to have a good day. Tony Jones on the option does a nice job. Come back again and give it to Thompson, and he spins for tough yardage. So we're coming out here, sprint pass. We actually had the outside guy open. He hit the Cheatwood on the inside on a curl. So it's first down in here. I thought really with probably 1 or 2 exceptions, he threw the ball with some authority. Cheatwood continues to play well. He had several catches in this ball game. Denson, as we'll see later on, probably had maybe one of his better ball games. Here's Thompson down to the 2. Tony actually went the wrong way here. We checked something.
He did go the wrong way.
He went the wrong way and had enough sense to actually get to the 1. Now we run David, and he goes in there and scores. So we have now taken a 10-7 lead on it. You can see here's the tall sweep again to Thompson. He's got his pads down low. Jeff Grenier, the fullback, ran over their corner. Drilled 27 pretty good there, and we get in the end zone, come in and kick it. And like I say, we have now recaptured the lead, but there was never, John, ever, again, stand over there where I am, any point that we felt any kind of good about it. See, the guy that was just really on the outside, we're about just a little bit away there as far as having that thing defended right. Now, they get down the sidelines. Our corner sunk inside a little bit and bit on the thing, which we haven't been. We've been pretty good about lately. Now, they and bit on that on the wheel route. Now they come back and run that counter. Here they're in the classic wishbone. Right, we got that defended a little bit, but still not quite as good as we need to. Comes back out, and now we had a little stunt on, and they picked it up, and the guy's supposed to step up and take the fullback, throws a minute, and that thing is on you so quickly. A touchdown, Iowa State. So they've now retaken
7 plays, 70 yards, right back. That's why, Pat, you're right. You could never feel comfortable in a game like this.
Not at all. Denson almost spins out of this doggone thing. You can see him making a few guys miss. And again, combination of his kick returns, his receptions, ran with that reverse. I thought heck of a job by Raphael Denson, one of his better ball games. All right, here's David Thompson getting loose here, right up down the sideline, and they knock him out. Watch out, Iowa State coach over there. Okay, now he gives it to him and makes some more. Alan Orts, 59, continues to amaze me, John, because he's the one that's playing with it. Here's Thompson getting outside again. Nice job. Orts is continuing to play with some pull stomach muscles. And, of course, Allen is really a tough guy. He is a legitimate tough guy. Watch our man, big Calvin Menifee, 71. He cut the guy. And so here's Thompson that scores now. Let's see if we can pick. There's big Calvin. Come on, Calvin. Let's get down in there and cut this guy down. Watch 36. There he goes. Attaboy, Calvin. And gets out, and Denson does a nice job of pinning the corner inside, and that's the way it's supposed to look, and David powers his way on into the end zone. Nice.
4 plays, 59 yards. You had the good kickoff return. There you are, right back on top.
This thing, again, was literally a tennis match all day long as far as just back and forth and back and forth. So now we have reclaimed the lead at 17-14. We have a stunt on. He thought we've got that thing covered pretty good, and they just hit it. Doxson Actually, that's the other kid in the ball game now. Now they run this little old draw play. You hear they hit the uncovered guy again. So once they
this
start,
is St. Clair.
Oh, yeah. St. Clair in here. Once they start kind of dinking around, see our end there, big 99, who just got a little bit too anxious and went in there and hit the quarterback when you're supposed to slow play him in this. And, we almost had that intercepted because they almost caught it too. But okay, St. Clair's in the ball game. And he comes back, and now a little bit more time than needed to be, and misses that throw here. So they've got to come in and field goal. Now he misses this, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a 52-yarder, and it's no good. Yeah.
Last year, this same kid, Stewart, kicked the longest field goal kicked in the Big 8 season. He kicked a 58-yarder school record up there, and then we missed a short one. So this has been a kind of a game battle of field goal people here. All right, here's the veer pass off the option action, throw deep. Denson gets in behind their corner, and the safety can't get over. So it's a touchdown again. I'm out of breath talking about this doggone thing.
57-yarder for Raphael.
57 yards. Here we come back off the thing. Okay, Menifee does a nice job up inside again. Tony, good job of getting this ball over the top of him. It's well thrown. Good job, Denson. That's the way to stay with it, and he runs off and leaves him. 57-yard touchdown reception. So
offense really clicking.
Well, I think as far as, again, we had no turnovers. Right. We had that one penalty on that first series. Didn't have much penalty-wise. Now, we've jumped out with a 10-point lead, which still did not make us feel good. Here they run the option, and we've kind of got that semi-played. So here he comes back again. Okay, now this is where he is so dangerous, is getting up in there and running, and he's got plenty enough run ability to make you miss. Okay, the uncovered guy again. See, if they make you bump out, if you bump out, they give the ball off. If you hang in there, they throw the uncovered guy, which is a wicked little combination when you can execute it. All right, there's the fullback that makes a little bit inside. He comes out and throws at that guy again. Okay, we've got it a little bit better defended here. Okay, he comes back, and now he kind of dumps this ball off to him, and they're down in there running around the 15, 14-yard line again. Okay, Doxson comes back, quarterback draw. He's an elusive runner. He gets down inside the 5-yard line, gives the ball off to the fullback. Actually, okay, boy.
Here you almost
yeah. That's there. Again, here's one of those real close ones. He comes back out, sprint pass. It kind of throws it to the guy coming back across. Nice catch for the Iowa State kid.
With 46 seconds to go in the half, too.
Sure. I mean, it's just here again. We go in at the half with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, instead of a 10.
Instead of a 10. I think even if we had gone in at 10, it made it feel better. I won't say feel better is not the right word, but it has still been tough.
Well, we're going to see a very, very tough second half when we return, so stay with us. Pat Jones needed the commercial break. We pumped some more oxygen into him. 24-21. Let's go to the second half. Cowboys in front by 3.
I was almost out of oxygen yesterday too in this thing. They did not really do any of open their bag of tricks as far as the kicking game, but that is always something that you're concerned about, and they do a great job of it. Here's Denson coming out of the pile on the kickoff return again, and
he just had a fine day.
Yeah, he really did. Now, we come out and get stopped here the first couple of series, which allowed them, the way they were moving the ball, to go back in here and get some things done. We had Denson. This is probably the only, I thought, really poor throw that Tony made. We had Denson open on a corner route. If we could have hit him in stride, he might have been off the races. Greg Ivey did not have as good a day punting because he didn't have to punt much. Nobody punted much, but did not really hit that one good. Okay, let's wrap him up in there. You can see Jared Barton in there at 54. Okay, come on, men. We're staggering around in there. He flips this one out, and the kid catches it over there on the sidelines. All right, now they come off. Yeah, give the ball to the fullback. See, he bounces off some guys, and we're kind of wandering around off in there. Okay, here's the draw play, hits there and breaks up inside. So all this combination of stuff. We run a stunt right here with Eric Hobbs, and he runs him down from the back. But you kind of defensively, and I won't lie, you kind of trying to pull something out of your bag to give them a bad play, because if we just kind of sit there and play ball most of the time, we're not going to do it. See, we had a stunt right there with 57 Harden. Ended up getting a little bit of a play in it. Okay, they come back out, and does he miss this?
No, this is good. This is a 32-yard field goal, and this ties the game at 24.
This ties the ball game at 24. We had a little bit of a lead. Now we don't have a lead again. Okay, here's David Thompson. I almost came out of this. Okay, Tony threw this ball just a little bit low. Denson caught it, was down on one knee. Okay, come back out on the option. They've got it defended at the point of attack. This is a nice job of Tony just kind of muscling his way for a first down here. Thought he ran with a little bit more authority. Come back out, hit Denson on the outside, and does a nice job, Raphael, of getting the first down. Again, we've said this 3 or 4 times. Really good ball game on his part. Okay, here's David Thompson again. The weak side sweep. getting outside of it. Okay, here's Thompson again. Sweep to the other side. Nice job. Good job of running hard. Let's see what happens here. Okay, all right, there we go. Give the ball off to Thompson again. This is one of these deals again. You can't hardly talk fast enough. And now their linebacker goes over the top of our fullback. We've got Richardson in the ball game. Okay, here's Tony coming out on the sprint pass. Okay, barely. They had the thing covered. Couldn't get it thrown and caught. Okay, counter play again, and you can see you up inside for some more yardage. 24-24. You can see a little over 4 minutes left in the ball
Here
game.
it's 4th and 3, and you go.
All right, this is a great example of what's considered a great call. Hopefully we got a replay of this.
We do.
4th and 3. I heard one of the commentators last night say, "Oh, what a great call." Well, I'm going to show you why it's a great call here. Their backside corner had the thing played. 27 had it played, and Denson and they're one of their other guys, and we just run through a tackle. Our guy running had more speed and quickness than their guy had it defended. That's why it was a good call. Again, we've run this several times, but let's don't anybody get carried away with sheer mental brilliance on this. It's because our guy was the guy running the ball faster than the guy trying to tackle him.
Exactly, and if he does get tackled, then people are saying, why did you make that call?
Why'd you do that?
Right.
So again, I don't want to, let's don't again just blow up too much the mental aspect of that sort of thing. But
you're back in front.
So yeah, we're back in front, 31-24 here. Nice job defensive there. Come out, run the sprint pass. He throws this thing, and they got it caught here. There's something they called us for holding or some kind of thing there.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a backside blitz by one of the linebackers on and tackle this. See, this guy this is the thing about him. You've got him tackled for a 4-yard loss, and he just ricochets off it, which is a mark of a good player. The guy run the ball's better than the guy's trying to tackle him. Good job, Lewis Adams, upending that guy in there. Okay, here they run the option and deal it outside. See, our corner got knocked down, or one of the safeties got knocked down out there, got cut. So here they come back out and run this draw, and he weaves up in there. We do get a hold of him. Okay, Barton, that's a good job there of holding on. Their quarter has changed. Now they're back in. Here's Doxson come down the opposite. You can see him out there. We had a stunt on, and they happened to wall it all off. Now he jumps right in behind the fullback, which is a tough combination. Okay, give the ball off to fullback. He runs over the linebacker. Score. Now it's tied up at 31, they kick the extra point, and it's tied up at 31 again.
And there's 13:48 to play in the game.
Oh, my goodness.
And tied at 31. Now, we skip your next series. You move the ball, but then Ivy punted 43 yards and into the end zone, touchback. So Iowa State starting from their 20.
Okay, and there you can see Doxson ran and scrambled and made a first down through, and we had a hands on. The ball bounced up. They catch it, come on back in. You can see, okay, we're biting on the quarterback too much again. And instead of slow playing, you get in the heat of the ball game. And there again, right there, see, we almost...
A forward lateral right there.
Well, if he didn't call a forward lateral,
that's right.
It did.
It wasn't a forward lateral because he didn't call it.
He didn't call it.
Here's a field goal that can put Iowa State in the lead, and they miss it. 31-yard try, no good, wide left.
He deserved to miss that one from the
now,
one he
here's what happened here.
Okay,
we skipped another series for years. Ivy punts them deep with 1:29 to go, 57-yard punt. You've got them down there, and you had 3 timeouts, and you're hoping you get the ball back.
Well, yeah, we are. Now, we had said, hey, we use 1 timeout in there, and they actually start digging out. And I won't lie, I was scared to death of Todd Doxson right down here. There was one little point. We talked about it. That should we use one? We let some clock run because I did not want them out there with Doxson with the ball. Okay, now there's seconds left in the 15 seconds or 20
seconds? 21 seconds left after the punt. And you take over 21 seconds to go at your own 21.
We jump into the 2-minute drill, and Tony does a nice job of executing this.
That's a 12-yarder to Denson.
Okay, we're into the shotgun. All right, he's moving around. Backside protection almost breaks down. Good job, Cheatwood, of catching that ball.
Denson, and getting out of bounds, 14 yards.
Here's again. Now we're still in. Okay, watch this. Okay, catches it down there. 1 second. There's 1 second left on the clock now. Down one.
Watch this kick.
I had to watch it. He hit it good. When he hit it, I thought he'd made it. He hit it so solidly that I thought he'd made it right outside the crossbar, wide to the left. Here's everybody just doesn't know how to respond on the thing. So 31-31 tie. I think everybody came out of it drained. And again, I don't think necessarily, and I think if we think we should have won that, I think we're overrating ourselves. Now, I could have won it. We could have won the ballgame. But if you're Iowa State, you're thinking exactly the same thing.
That's exactly right. You know, the term horses used sometimes for athletes. Say, well, he's just like a horse out there. Well, there are a lot of true horses at Oklahoma State, and they get some exceptional treatment. We're going to see on our feature when we're back. After a 31-31 tie, you might feel like you've walked in place, been on a treadmill. Well, if you've ever been on one, you're going to appreciate this week's feature from Tom Dorado.
Many of us have experienced the challenge of a treadmill test. You know, the feeling of working hard but going nowhere fast. Well, this piece of equipment has become the crown jewel of the College of Veterinary Medicine's new equine sports medicine laboratory. The lab is designed to test and analyze performance horses during exercise.
You're right, Tom. These are equine athletes, and the treadmill is designed just like you and I when we go to the doctor to have a stress test or to have our annual physical examination. The treadmill gives us a chance to examine the equine athlete while in motion, and that's particularly important when we're looking at their respiratory system, their cardiovascular system, and their musculoskeletal system. In Oklahoma, you learn that the cattle industry and the horse industry are two very important entities in our state, and we want to be the very best we can be for those species.
Dr. Joe Alexander in our School of Veterinary Medicine, I think, is as highly regarded as probably any in this country. And like this is great for Oklahoma State University, and the state of Oklahoma is deeply tied into the equine part of it as they are. And I don't want to come across as expert on any of it. One of their, Dr. Mike Collier, who is one of their head surgeons over there, actually has a key to our weight room and lifts up there every morning so we can kind of claim some closeness now. But those people do a great job.
All right, you're going on the road for 2 weeks, and you begin with Kansas. You've traditionally played pretty well up there. If you're not banged up, your offense starting to click a little bit. Defense, you go back against a more traditional look. What do you think?
I think the key to the whole thing is our health status. And again, Glenn Mason, their people play well up there. We do normally play pretty well in Lawrence. They had a close one up there with them the last time. I think the key to the whole thing is probably our health status.
All right, well, we'll see what that is, and we'll show you the highlights from that game next week on the Pat Jones Show when the Cowboys take on Kansas. Until then, so long, everybody.